been a street urchin and regent of the solar system, but I am always Aurora.
Hey y'all, Obsidian out here with some more Marvel Rivals goodness for you. Now, I had a pretty good game off stream the other day, and I wanted to just bring some of that goodness to you through the power of their built-in replay system. Now, unfortunately, it still is kind of flawed. And so even though I am on my own team as a friendly person who should be blue, the perspective from this replay will be from red. So all of Galacta's voice lines will be kind of reversed in that fashion because of it. You know, it's still, I guess, a work in progress. I'm not really sure. I did bring it up to the team via their suggestion box in the Discord, so hopefully they'll get note of it and fix it soon. Anyway, let's get into this game, y'all. We are Storm, and as you saw from maybe the thumbnail, some pretty high participation Storm too. So I'm really proud of how it turned out. But we're gonna start this match here, getting our team to the choke with our speed buff. And once we're here, able to fight the team and whatnot, we're going to go ahead and switch to our lightning buff and empower the team, using her E to create pressure with the melee characters Black Panther and Magic, and of course finishing off that Black Panther with the power of that E ability. Just continuing to apply that pressure, because you know Storm herself is pressure. She is pressure incarnate. And I'm not talking barometric, I'm talking like she got motion. She is that bitch. So we did take a Penny Parker with our E ability as well. This allows our team to create more just presence on the point here as we start building our meter to capture the vehicle. And ideally as Storm, you just kind of want to have this attack buff on unless you're trying to move the team out of the way or to somewhere. Then you'll want to have your wind buff on, which, if you didn't know, the wind buff also slows enemies caught within it. However, I don't feel find to be that valuable when you can just buff your allies with the lightning buff instead, because it buffs you too. I do see an opportunity to use the ult here, and this is just to kind of stagger the team because it is only on 2 people. But a healer and a tank down is just really valuable for us to get some more of this free real estate down the alleyway. You can see Black Panther try to come in and flank. I, of course, activate that E again. He has not learned his lesson, this husband of mine. And he falls to Hela, finishing up the job, empowered by my boost. Now, we do have Penny up here, trying to make herself be known, but she backs off pretty quick when she sees my face. Now here, I pick up Rocket's armor and jetpack boost, just because I don't know what's going to be coming when I round this corner, and I want to be able to have a quick escape with that spacebar. Sure enough, Magneto does come around, firing that ult, which hits nobody, because I just jump out the way using Rocket's speed boost, or jump pack. Creating more pressure with that E, and supporting my Magneto, as she supports him in the show. X-Men 97, please check it out if you haven't. And we're just kind of like picking them off one by one. However, we do have Adam Warlock in the back line reviving with his ultimate. And that's okay, because we are going to have our friendly Hela use her ultimate to kind of reset everything that just got revived. So she does pick off the Moon Knight in the back line, allowing us to kind of come in without any fear of the Ankh. On this very vital choke point, we take out a support and tank in Adam and Penny. We finish off Magneto, and we cap the point pretty handily here. And as you can see, I really haven't turned on my wind buff, because the lightning buff is just so powerful right now. We don't really need to get away from anyone. However, I am going to briefly switch back and forth between them to kind of give my allies, I guess, movement tech. Because if you can augment their speed, that means you're augmenting where the enemy has to like aim, right? If that makes sense. It's kind of like the same reason you're like jumping around while you're shooting the enemy. I want to give them that ability to have more movement and stay alive. We do have Hulk jumping in here, so I switch back to the lightning buff, activate that storm, and just gonna pelt and pelt and pelt on him. And here I use the wind buff to get our support out of the way. And the rest of the team is able to just interrupt that ult as I take down Penny. Now you see, I've had my ultimate for a while here. I'm just looking for a pretty good spot to use it because we don't want to use it right now. Everyone's too spread out. I don't have enough information. And they could just avoid it and then kill me and shred me without my team to back me up since we're at that choke. So I'm still looking. However, I do kind of overextend. I usually try to keep myself close to the ground so that I don't get picked off like that. But I was just looking to gather more information at that time. And unfortunately, it caught me in the butt. However, we are back. Using that speed buff to get more quickly back to the objective here. And I think this is a pretty good time to use my ult, so I'm going to go ahead and fire it. And it turns out, looking for these victims, their Adam Warlock falls off the balcony that I destroyed with the storm into my storm, and I'm able to take out both their DPS and both of their supports. However, Mantis does come back with the cocoon. I take out Penny in the meantime. And Mantis dies again to our friendly Hela ultimate. Even reviving millions of times cannot save Mantis from Storm's Wrath, I'm telling ya. But it was a pretty decisive first round, you know. Now here in the second round is kind of where it gets tricky, because as you saw, they weren't really kind of adapting their team to deal with my pressure, you know? So I was really kind of able to help my allies just kind of steamroll that objective. And it's honestly very satisfying because usually when you pick Storm, and I did kind of auto-log her when I saw Thor, because the only reason I pick Storm nowadays is because people just kind of scowl when you do unless Thor's on the field, so I've just kind of been more self-conscious about it. But she is my favorite person to play, and I want to get her back on the field, and
the battle starts in 5, 4,
you know, I'm really happy when I'm able to support the team like this. So, yeah.
Don't forget, securing the mission area is your top priority.
Now, keep in mind, this is the replay, right? So you can see the silhouettes of the enemy team. You know where they are, where they're coming, if they have any structures available and things like that. However, I, during the match, did not have this information. So, lucky you. But this is one of the reasons I like to have Thor around with Storm, is because I was able to use Chain Lightning to pick up their support in the backline there without even having to expose myself. Magneto doing a great job of tanking for us. However, I do think he's out of shield here, and he does get caught overextending. And that Ankh, of course, doing a lot of pressure too. So our healers are able to keep him alive while I take out the Punisher in the back line with my immaculate Storm aim. As I miss the Hela. But we just kind of like have a tit-a-tat, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano here, me and Hela. And I'm just trying to like keep her occupied, even though she's definitely my counter. Like, this is a very smart pick for her to switch to Hela to try and counter me, because her daggers could pierce through all of the bodies that I'm putting in front of me to keep myself alive and hit me. So here I see them trying to approach, and I stay within the dagger storm that our cloak and dagger throws. By which I mean I stay within the enemy cloak and daggers dome. Now see, this is one of the problems with the replays, is that it shows up red for me even though I'm on the red team. Like, get it together, replay. Get it together. I'm trying to post comms here, and I'm getting comms wrong. But that's okay. We're just kind of like in a neutral standstill right now. And they keep trying to apply pressure and move forward. However, I'm going to use the wind buff to get out of there, and I'm kind of like sticking around the window to see if my team needs support, because if I peek out of here, they can still be affected by my aura. They seem to get out okay, and with my ult now available, they are going to get shredded apart as they try to take point.
I see I have made an impact.
Double KO. That's 3.
Hela trying her best to still keep me under control, but I'm just going to get away, get some healing with that wind buff. Cloak and daggers coming in to try and finish me off. However, I'm just better. And I'm able to buy time for the rest of my team to return to point here with this duel against Magneto. Hela stuns him, and we're able to just kind of, you know, back him off. However, I do get headshot by a now Black Widow who's chosen to show herself on the field. And this is where things start to get a little bit dicey, because Black Widow is crazy strong against Storm, especially if she has any damage on her whatsoever. So we will have to think of a way to deal with her, won't we?
Hey, team!
Once again, we're getting back to point here to try to support the team with our lightning buff. Focusing my attention on the turret so that it's not a problem. We do have Hela taking out 2 with her ultimate and then picking off the sniper with her daggers, her primary fire. Now, I'm hiding from Punisher, but also buffing Thor. And when I think it's safe, I kind of peek out here. Unfortunately, Hela gets picked off. And I try to take the other one with me, but I do end up getting the tank as I fall.
Us against the world. Down to 30 seconds.
Ride the winds.
Now at this point, I'm thinking about, when I get to the point, all I want to do is try to build up ult. I'm already past the halfway mark here. But of course, Hela breaks out her Hell Unleashed. And this is why I'm just attacking, instead of paying attention to Hela, I'm attacking Magneto, because his big old body is really easy to find ults for. However, I didn't realize it was actually a clone of Hela, and so the other real Hela peeks around the corner and surprises me with her primary fire. But I'm not going to make that mistake again. Or will I? It's at this time we give them the point here, and honestly, I probably should have swapped at this point. But I didn't, despite dying like 3 times by now, I still didn't really feel very pressured. And I think that's just because I felt comfortable and safe with the tanks and the heals that was happening. And I just wanted to take advantage of Thor as much as I could, because these narrow alleyways are very like choky, and it makes Chain Lightning a very potent attack. Now I do have the ult, but I don't have the information. I get out of the way of this with my Tailwind. Penny goes down here, and this is where I want to kind of like recreate the equilibrium between teams here. So they are kind of split apart. I try to go after Loki first, but then I change my mind and go after the sniper, who's kind of been a pain. One is better than none at this point, and I'm trying to reunite with my team here. But it did kind of equalize the imbalance there between team. So we're regrouping here. I go in to support Thor. Almost getting picked off by that Widow. She has her eyes squarely set on me. And I mean, as she should. She is my counter after all. But I see Penny go in with her ultimate and try to create more pressure with my Storm. My Thunderstorm, that is, not the character. However, Punisher does break out his ult. I'm out of his line of vision, so I'm just comfortable floating up here. However, with a combination of Magneto and Hela, I'm gone. But thanks to perfect placement of this rocket pylon, I'm able to come back to life and just continue creating space. We're holding space for our team. We're actually in a really good position here to evade Hela's ultimate, so we're just kind of chill. I do put up my speed buff there just in case people wanted to back up quickly, but immediately switch back to my lightning buff because, again, we are clumped under this bridge and we want to do as much damage as possible. As you can see, I'm buffing pretty much the whole team, almost all the time. So that's another key thing that you want as Storm, is positioning to maximize the area of effect of your buffs. Now, the Black Widow was smart here because she noted that we were all kind of clumped under that bridge, and that's where she unleashed her ult so that she can slow us all. Hela does get her ult going here, so I kind of give her the shoop-de-whoop, little jukey juke, dosh-dosh-da-whoop, and she's gone. Kind of distract her from trying to pummel my team, and it worked out pretty well. Because, except for Doctor Strange dying there to something else, we pretty much preserved our line. However, Magneto does get such a good ult. Like, you could tell that that was aimed at me because I was not able to come in and use my Storm here because I did have it ready because they knew what was coming. But I'm going to try and get back to the point here as quick as I can. And this is so disappointing. Look at this. Look how close they are. All we had to do was have someone touching the cart there, and we could have won at this point. But oh, the disappointment I felt. I was just so sad. I was so sad. But you know what? We still have the pressure. We still have the pressure going. And I still believe in Storm. We're not switching yet. Now, in the moment, I was kind of more concerned about creating pressure and buffing my allies than this Black Widow to the right. And, you know, in retrospect, in hindsight, I should have been more aware. I actually did not realize that she was there. And I kept wondering, where's all of this damage coming from? But I get cloned by the enemy Loki, and they use my ultimate to their advantage. And this is the point at which I'm like, okay, they're starting to adapt better. I'm switching. So I switched to Wanda here. But all in all, I believe that it was a pretty good Storm game. I mean, we were able to really kind of bring the house down on them. Make the sky fall on them, I guess I should say. And it really forced them to actually play around me, which is a fun feeling, you know, when you feel that they are countering you specifically. It's really good. It's a really good feeling. So I switched to Wanda to counter Hela and Black Widow because Hela, look at this. I'm coming through. You are gone. You are gone, lady. It's just constant, like picking at with her primary click. But in the end, we do get that victory that we have so rightly earned and worked hard for with our Storm. And, you know, Wanda just came in and cleaned up a little bit, you know? Just kind of colonized the victory. It's cool. But thank y'all for watching. This has been, like, I'm so glad that Marvel Rivals has come out because I've been really missing this game. So I'm looking forward to creating some more videos for you. Not all of them are going to be gameplay videos. Some of them are going to be tips and tricks. So please be on the lookout for those. But until next time, y'all, I will see you later. Have a good one.